Okay, continue. All right. All right, I think everyone's coming in now. So hi, everyone. Welcome to our class today. Today is Thursday, so you are joining ImpressArt, myself, Jen, as well as our design director, Rita. And today we're going to cover how to make these wonderful hand-stamped textured bracelets behind me in mixed metals. So we're going to work with aluminum, which is the silver one, brass, which is the gold tone one, and copper, which is more the rose gold one. And we're going to go through our multifunction hammer, which is one hammer that can use multiple heads to create wonderful artisan textures. I am going to pass it over to the lovely Rita Panula, our design director, and she's going to talk a little bit more about the class and what you can expect. But we can't wait for you to join us for the next hour. And if you aren't shy, we would love for you to turn on your camera so you can watch and see you stamp along with us. Hi, Lynn.
Hi, Lynn. Hi, Brenda. I see Brenda. Brenda's at work. She's in her cubicle. Let's see. We have Shannon. I have to scroll through here and say Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Sherry, Bernadette. Let's see. All right. So everyone knows if you've taken the classes with us before. Hi, Marie. Jen and I love when you guys turn your cameras on so we actually could see you instead of you always seeing us all the time. So today we're going to be doing textured bracelets. If you are new to using ImpressArt products, we do have a live every Tuesday and Thursday on Facebook. We are a amazing stamping community on that page. We have a lot of our ladies with us today here, which thank you for joining us on here as well. But definitely, if this is something that you are interested in, or you're looking to further your education a little bit more than what, we're doing with the Michael's classes, definitely check us out on Facebook. You could always watch the replay if you can't make it that certain time. And we also have a YouTube channel, right, Jen?
Yes. So we do have some videos up on YouTube. We are working to move our Facebook Lives over to YouTube slowly but surely. That will happen.
So another good thing about ImpressArt.com is we have a inspiration gallery, which Jen takes the projects that I make and she basically breaks it down and writes tutorials for them. So it's step by step. And if you're interested in, you haven't made the dive in buying products yet, we have a really great program called the School of Stamping. All right. And that's Jen's baby. She did an amazing job on it. And it takes you step by step with me how to start your metal stamping journey all the way from being a beginner to an advanced project. So with that being said, I think I covered everything. Today, we're going to make some textured bracelets, and you'll see these bracelets. If you pay attention, they are definitely on trend. They are all over Pinterest. If you go into any of the high-end stores or department stores, you will find a ball peen texture in a bracelet, a pair of earrings. It's something that is very easy to do. Okay, and it's kind of like what I like to refer to as an icebreaker when you're first getting into metal stamping. You don't have to line anything up. You don't have to worry about anything being straight. And your product, your end piece comes out very pretty, and I say perfect. So we are going to go through the texturing process. I will show you the difference between the metals today. If we have time, I will show you how to pierce the end of a bracelet to hang a bead off of it today with the screw hole punch. So with that being said, I'm going to throw it back to Jen and I'll get set up here and we will start our class. All right.
Yeah. So while Rita's getting ready, if you're new, welcome, welcome. In the chat, you guys can write where you're stamping from. We'd love to see where you guys are from. We know a couple ladies actually from, I want to say Arizona, actually found out they live like an hour apart from each other. So they actually meet up at a Michael's close by to go shopping and hand stamp together. So in this chat, you'll see me communicate under Jen from ImpressArt or ImpressArt Jen. So if you have any questions, feel free to write them in the chat below, and I will do my best to answer the questions, or Rita will, as we go through the class. I'm going to drop in links to the Michaels products that we're using, so you're able to shop them during or after the class. And if for some reason I do not get to your question or we miss it by mistake, please feel free to reach out to us on Facebook. You can direct message us. Either I or Rita answer those messages, as well as Instagram under ImpressArt. So any questions, if you want to share us, show us what you made for the class, and you want us to give you feedback, we're more than happy to. But without further ado, I don't want to waste any more of our precious time since we have 55 minutes left. I'm going to hand it back to Rita because I think she's ready.
All right, we are ready. Hi, I see that Lynn signs on. We have Bridget from Mississippi. I would love this. I could see the comments on the bottom of my phone now, Jen.
Oh,
every once in a while they pop up. So, all right, so we're going to go through your product. So with this class, we're going to work with 3 different types of metals. The first metal is going to be your aluminum. Your aluminum is the silver metal. Your aluminum is food grade aluminum, meaning same metal that you use on pans. You can not only use these as a bracelet, but there's tons of other uses for it. You could use these as popsicle sticks if you're making homemade popsicles, martini stirrers. Who doesn't love a martini? You could also use them as a garden marker. I mean, there are numerous things that you could do with these aluminum bracelets. Then we have copper. Now, our copper and brass, something that's really important that you guys should know is you're going to feel the difference when you hit these. They are a harder metal. So brass and copper, you're always going to have to give it a little bit more of a heavier hit. All right, when you're working with these 2 metals. These are also not plated. They are copper throughout and they are brass throughout. What that means is they are jeweler's grade, meaning it will tarnish, but you could always polish it back up. If you're working with something that's plated and the plating comes off, you could no longer polish that back up, polish it back up without seeing that copper flashing inside. So I really like working with the brass and copper for that reason. You could anneal the brass and copper, but then you would need a tumbler to work hard in it. And that's more of an advanced class. I know that question just came in. All right. So we are going to just put these aside. I'm going to walk you through the multifunction hammer. So this is something that is always on my bench block, always, never leaves. What's great about this tool is it's about 4 tools in one. And what I mean by that is you'll notice that the bottom of the screw loosens and your heads will come out. Okay. In your kit, you'll have a nylon head. Okay. A nylon is good to flatten out your metal, or sometimes when we're forging into metal, your bracelets will start to curl, get a little wonky. And the nylon head is what you're going to use to correct that issue. And I'm going to show you later on in this class how to do so. Then we have a chasing head. Okay. Your chasing head is great because this is good for when your metal starts to cup. Okay. It planishes. You could also use it on a wire, a round wire, to flatten it out. So this is a very good head. And we're also going to use it as a texture today on the outskirts of a piece of aluminum. Okay. Everyone's fan favorite here is the ball peen head. And you will notice, let's go back to that notch in your heads. You're going to want to make sure that when you put that inside your hammer, that notch is facing down, because that is where that little notch right there is where that screw, when you tighten the base of your hammer, is going to sit nice and snug. Okay. The ball peen texture is one of, I like to kind of tell you, it's more of like an orange peel texture. The nice thing about this ball peen texture is that the closer you get your patterns together, the closer your texture is together, the nicer your bracelet will look once it's bent. All right. And then we have, let's see, it comes with a sprinkle stamp. So these are 6mm design stamps, guys. Any 6mm design stamp made by ImpressArt will fit inside of your hammer. You will notice that there aren't any notches in your 6mm design stamps. That's because they double as regular stationery stamps as well. So when you're texturing with this head, okay, with a 6mm stamp without a notch on, it's going to kind of get a little loose in your hammer. Fear not, that's what happens. We all hit it differently. So you're just going to, as you're stamping and it does start to rattle a little bit, you're just going to tighten it a little bit. That's it. The great way to hold this hammer, the right way to hold this hammer, is to have it right in the palm of your hand. You want to make sure that the palm of your hand is caressing the screw at the bottom. Okay. You never want to hold your texture hammer up here. All right. Because that's how we have accidents. This is a 4x4 block. If you're holding your hammer at the neck and you're hitting it, you're actually going to miss your blank and you're going to be hitting your knuckles on that steel block. So you definitely don't want to do that. So the correct way to hold this hammer is just to caress it right in the palm of your hand, just like this. All right. The next tool is your steel block. Very important when you are metal stamping. You can't metal stamp on a piece of wood. You cannot metal stamp on a glass table without a base. And you definitely can't metal stamp on a piece of marble or granite, okay? You wanna make sure that what you have, the surface underneath, is always a steel block. ImpressArt blocks come 2x2 or 4x4. 4x4 is what I'm gonna be working with you guys today, okay? It's really personal preference. Completely up to you, as long as it's a steel block underneath. All right, so we are going to start. You're going to notice that your bracelets come with a coating on them. If you open up your packages from Michael's, you're going to notice that your first one does not have coating on the top. That's just for display purposes. Every bracelet behind that one should be coated with the plastic on the front and the back. I like to remove the plastic on the front of my bracelets only because it reduces the marring on the back. Marring is something that occurs when you are forging into metal and your metal is hitting your steel. Okay, so it creates somewhat of a shadowing on the back. That plastic covering on the back kind of protects your blanks from getting that marring on the other side. You could also use something called scratch protector pads if that personally bothers you and you want to remove the plastic off the front and the back. Total personal preference. So we're going to start with our chasing head. Actually, you know what? Let's start with our sprinkle stamp. We're going to start with our sprinkle stamp because I want, and we're going to do it a little differently. Usually I start with the aluminum. We're going to start with the brass first. Okay. And that's only because I want to do the brass first. So you see how hard you have to hit it to get an impression. Then we're going to go to the aluminum. So it's really back to back. So we know that it's aluminum is a softer metal and you will feel the difference in how you hit. All right. So I've peeled the plastic off the front of my blank. I like to turn my 4x4 block into a diamond shape in front of me, just so I have more stampable area. I'm going to have my hammer in my dominant hand, okay? So the hand that you write with is where your hammer should be. You're gonna make sure that you have it caressed in the bottom palm of your hand, okay? You're gonna take your fingers where you feel comfortable and place them on your bracelet. Remember, after your first blood blister, you won't be afraid of the hammer anymore, all right? Just be very careful. If you're afraid of the hammer, I see Sherry's giving me a little smirk. If you feel a little unsure about using your fingers, you could definitely, guys, take some stamp straight tape, attach it to your block and to hold it in place. With that being said, sometimes it will pop off, but I think the best way to do it is putting 2 fingers down and just keeping an eye on how close you get to your digits. All right. So in your dominant hand, you're going to place your texture hammer, 2 fingers or a finger, whatever you feel comfortable, where you feel comfortable on your bracelet. And you're going to begin to texture your entire bracelet. Now we're working with that sprinkle design stamp. Okay, I don't know if you guys could see that, but it leaves this really nice texture and it kind of looks like a diamond cut in there. All right, so we're going to continue that texture through the whole front of the bracelet. We are not going to do the bottom. Okay, I mean the back side of it.
So Rita, this might come up, but what happens if the stamp head in your hammer starts to loosen and shake around?
Okay, so like I said before, because these do not have a notch in it, you're just going to take it and just tighten up the bottom a little bit more. That's it. Just give it a little, just tighten it a little. Everybody hits at different rates, you know? So I'm more of a moderate hitter, but you're really, to get that texture in there, you're really gonna have to be a little bit more aggressive with the brass because it's harder. If you're cradled in the palm of your hand and you have that screw firmly placed inside there, it shouldn't wiggle around so much. You're going to see that it does start to curve just a little bit. See that wonkiness that I was talking about before? That's okay. We will fix it.
Oh, Shannon's getting kissed by her little puppy.
Oh, my dog is running away. She doesn't like texture, Priscilla. So I've textured my entire bracelet. Okay, you're going to see that it's a little curved here. All right, I'm going to show you how you can knock that right back into place. Now on your ends, sometimes if you're texturing and you get that little lip here, like you could see that it's a piece of metal that sticks out. Okay, this is, Franny, this is the sprinkle stamp that comes in your hammer. I'm just going to take that head out. I'm going to bring my nylon head back in. Tighten my screw. All right. And I'm just going to place my bracelet vertical on my block. Okay. And I'm going to take it. A couple of nice hits. And what that's going to do is now I'm forging my nylon head into my bracelet, and it's also helping the finish on the opposite side because it is hitting up against the steel block. Okay, so that's what's going to knock your pieces in. And what I mean by that is sometimes when we stamp off the edge, and you get this little sharp piece. All right, and that's how you can back into place. And I just like to flip it back and forth. Down the bracelet, come back around. Okay, there we go. And that straightens it back out. We're gonna bend them at the end of the class. So right now you're gonna take your brass bracelet and you're just gonna place it aside. We're gonna come back in and we're gonna use our aluminum. So I'm gonna peel my plastic off the aluminum, place it on my block, unscrew my nylon head, and place in my chasing head. Now this you're going to hit a little bit differently, okay? And I'm going to demonstrate first. We're not going to hit it so dead on. We're going to hit and pull back. This is going to create a really nice divot in the edges of your metal, a very artisan, very rustic kind of look, okay? So again, you're going to put your fingers down and you're going to notice that you have to hit this much lighter because it's aluminum and it's a softer metal. You'll have to hit it much lighter than you would the sprinkle stamp or the ball peen. Okay, so I'm just going to demonstrate it. I'm going to hit and pull back. And it's going to leave these really nice divots in the edge of your metal, okay? You want to just concentrate on your edges all around. You don't want to use your chasing head in the center. When you use your chasing head in the center, it kind of flattens out your bracelet all over again. So we're going to work on the edges and you're going to go all around your bracelet. Hit and pull. You're going to see, do you see that? It starts to look like a smiley face. It starts, you know, looking like more of a rainbow shape. And we will troubleshoot that. Coming around the other side. Not hit it in the center. I love how you have that line. It kind of looks like a river through, you know, through a bunch of rocks. It looks really pretty. You'll have a line or design through the center of your bracelet blank. And your texture will be on either side. All right, so now that we have something that kind of resembles a very wonky bracelet blank, all right, you're just going to take your fingers and just pull that out slightly, okay? And then you're going to see that we do have that dipping around the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to take we are going to take out the chasing head. I'm at a loss for words. It's almost Friday, guys. It's almost Friday.
Almost Friday.
And we're going to put our nylon head in and tighten that screw at the bottom. So I want to follow the curvature in my bracelet. So I see how we're going. We have a rippling effect, like a rainbow effect towards the top. You always want to make sure that when you turn your bracelet, the space that you see underneath, and I know it's hard from this angle, but I'm just going to slide the other bracelet in. This is how you want to hold your bracelet on your block. You want that space to be at the bottom, okay? Because when it's wonky like that, it works better if your space is on the bottom as opposed to it being this way on the top. Okay, so a test of that is just see if you could shove another bracelet in there. Then you're going to take your nylon head, give it a few taps, and you're going to notice that you're nice and straight again. Okay, so like I did to the brass bracelet, I just worked my way down the bracelet very lightly. Keep in mind that your aluminum is much softer than your brass and your copper. And your bracelet will be right back to it being nice and straight. Okay. And you have these really beautiful divots on each side of that bracelet. Now, everyone's favorite. And if this is the first time you're using it, it will be your favorite too. I think I peeled my plastic off this already. So this is copper. Copper, again, is a harder metal. I'm going to loosen the screw at the bottom of my hammer. Place in my ball peen, making sure that my notch is towards the bottom. Then I'm going to tighten the end. Okay. Now, with this texture, it looks really nice the closer you get your impressions together. And I will show you. So again, like the first one, Sam, work on a really concentrated area. Look how beautiful that looks. And we'll shine these up after. We're going to use a buffing block to them, and you'll see the texture will be more pronounced. All right. So with this, again, we're going to take our fingers, place them on your bracelet where you feel comfortable. You're going to take your ball peen head. Get your impression as close together as you can. Now remember, when you're using this hammer, the harder you use it, sometimes the screw will come loose. It just depends on how you're, on what force you're using behind your hammer. So if you noticed with my brass bracelet, I didn't need to tighten it. I feel that maybe because I'm really wailing on this, I might have to tighten it in between, hitting my copper with it. But, it's nothing to be alarmed about. It's just par for the course. All right. So you're just going to take that and just give it a really nice, tightening at the bottom of it, and then continue with your bracelet. Now, do we feel the difference between the copper and the aluminum? Yeah. Sherry said definitely. So Sherry, your face is on my screen. You're the first. I have you, Shannon, and I think I have Lisa. So I'm watching the three of you also, and my hands. But you'll see, you will feel the difference between how soft the aluminum is and how hard your brass and copper are. And that's just, that's something that if you're interested in doing this, it's something that you're just going to have to learn. You're going to have to learn your tools. You're going to have to learn your hammer. You'll have to learn your metals. You'll eventually know what force to use when you're stamping letters. You'll know what force to use when you're texturing. So basically, guys, your tools are your best friends. If you want to definitely start a stamping journey with us. All right. And Michael's has a bunch of products that could assist you with that. So definitely, if you haven't made the jump yet, I hope that after you watch this class, you'll be bit by the bug that I was bit with many years ago, and jump on in. All right. So I'm going to continue texturing that bracelet. It is. Henry said it's an arm workout. It is definitely an arm workout. Now the bracelet, these bracelet sizes, this is a 1/4 inch bracelet. Yes, Kathleen, you must take the plastic film off the top of it when you're stamping onto it. These come in 1/4 inch, 3/4, right, Jen, and 1/2 inch bracelets. They're also sold in a bracelet kit. So, the sky's the limit with these. You could also texture earrings. You could texture necklaces. I mean, once you've really gotten this technique down, you could pretty much do any, apply it to any form of jewelry design. you'll notice that when you hit it, it will start to curl at the ends. Don't worry about that. Texture your bracelet. Now, the question that I always get halfway through the middle of this bracelet is, how about we want to put words? When do we put words on? Do we texture first and put words on? Do we put words on first or texture? So my answer to you is, you have to texture first, then put your words on. Now, if you have something that you have words on already, okay, and let's say you got your name really, really nice in the center, but a little down your bracelet, you're a little off and you're hating it. You're hating, like maybe you have designs that you use at the bottom that you're not liking. Although I would love to tell you that you could erase mistakes in metal, but you can. But what you can do, ladies and gentlemen, is texture your mistake out. Okay? So let's say I put a heart at the ends and I'm really not feeling the heart. The heart's crooked. It's just, I'm not feeling the heart. It's very easy to take up texture and go over it. Now, if you have a name that you have already stamped out, you could always texture around your name, but I wouldn't texture over your name and then have it, you know, expect it to still be there. So remember, texture first, then stamp, or you could stamp first, but you could texture around the name. And if you have a mistake, let's say you were texturing these with people's names on them and you were like, no, I don't like it, turn it into a textured bracelet.
Yes.
Go right over it. All right. Now, if you could hear that rattle, just because it's rattling a little bit, doesn't mean that it's going to fall out. All right. So you could complete one bracelet without it coming out, depending on how heavy you're hitting it. But then you could always come in, tighten that screw, and continue. All right. So now I've textured my bracelet and I've got a smile. Okay. Simply use your thumbs and bring it out a little bit. Okay. Bring it out just a little bit and then come back in with your nylon head, making sure your notch is facing down, tightening the bottom of your screw, coming in and giving it a couple of really nice taps. Now, if you have a little bit of a wonkiness here, how I overbent it a little bit too much, fear not, just put it down. Give your bracelet a couple of taps. You want to do it very aggressively and it will come out. Okay. Now, remember, as they might be a little soft, as we are manipulating the metal, it's called work hardening. Okay. So as you're bending and you're shaping and you're forging, your metal's starting to get harder, okay, in the process. All right, so now we have our bracelets. And I'm gonna come in and I'm just gonna show you how you could polish these up. So these are available at Michael's. Use a new one for you guys. because mine looks like, oh God, it wants to jump into the waste paper basket. So I'll use a new one for you guys. So it's nice and pretty. It's not going to stay like that for long. You're going to take it. I always like to start with my fine side, and I like to move on to my super fine side. Okay, so I'm just going to pick up my copper where I left off, take my fine side to it, and I'm going to run it over. And then I'm going to take it, come back, and I'm going to use my super fine side. And I'm just going to do one side because I want to show you, if you don't have this product, how amazing it is. So look at that shine compared to the piece that I didn't do. I mean, it really elevates all of your pieces that you've stamped. So this is definitely something that I would invest in buying. And what I mean by repetitive patterns right on top of one another, how beautiful does that texture look? It just looks so full. It definitely looks like you've walked into Barney's or you've walked into Saks and purchased something in the high-end jewelry aisle after you shine that up. All right. So we're going to just flip it around. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take it to my fine and then move on to my super fine. So you see how this does get dirty. All right. It's okay because let me see if I could show you how bad mine is. Do I have mine here? I think I actually threw it away about an hour ago.
Oh, you threw it after Facebook
Oh my
Live.
God. It was so bad. It was so bad. This is how it looked. It was so bad. Either that or I think my daughter, did I throw it out? Yeah, I think I threw it out. Yeah, I think my daughter finally got sick of like coming down here to pop. No, actually, I'm lying. Here we go. That's how, it gets really dirty. And I still have more to go, guys. You know what? I'm not throwing this out because I have more sides. And you could still use that even though it gets a little, grimy. It still works. All right. So let's continue on the other side. We're going to use the fine first. Give it a nice buff. And then we're going to move on to the super fine. Any questions so far?
Jennifer said it does look like a nail buffer.
It does, doesn't it? So when we were, I obviously do all of the design for ImpressArt. I'm very involved in the product development part of the company also because I'm the one that uses this stuff all the time. And, we had a bunch of samples that we got. A lot of them looked like were thin and straight. And I just felt like after using them, it's like enough. My hand was just grasping it so tight. These just felt so much better to use. And they got in areas so much nicer. So yes, they do look like buffers, but they're not. But they do look like it. And it's just, it's very easy to use. And they also come in handy when you actually have to, do something and rest it up against. Let's say you want to stamp on spoons or cutlery. It makes for a good kind of DIY jig to use underneath your spoons or your forks. So that's another reason why I like it. So I'm going to polish it. And there we have the copper. Just looks so nice. And you could do the front and the back if you'd like. All right, we're going to move on to our brass, and you're going to see how, your brass is always going to tarnish, even in transit, even with the plastic on it. It's just something that happens. Okay. And the nice part about it is that it is jeweler's brass. So it can always be polished back up. So I'm going to show you how nice it shines up on one side compared to the other. And when you're buffing, you do want to take care of the sides of your bracelets, right? Because when we're wearing stuff, it's not just the front that we look at. Other people get to see the sides of it. So you definitely want to polish the sides of it. So that's how nice that looks. Look at that compared to that dull brass. I actually prefer, and this is personal preference, I like the next stage of tarnishing. The next stage of tarnishing sort of turns it into a really nice bronzy, deep gold color. And, you know, once you've textured and you've let it bronze over time, it's going to sit in your impressions and create like a natural patina, which looks beautiful then when you take your buffing block to it, because you have those dark tones, you have those rich gold tones, and it just happens to really have a nice combination on your bracelet. So I'm just going to continue to polish using my super fine and my fine and getting my sides. Now I like to polish twice. Sometimes I like to polish 3 times. When I'm stamping a design, I like to polish in the middle of it just to shine it up a little bit to see where exactly I'm going with my design. Then before I bend it, I always polish it to see if there's spaces that I'm missing, maybe that I want to go back in and give a little bit more texture, but I'm happy with how my bracelet came out. So now my aluminum, I'm going to go towards my aluminum, same process. Okay. And now just because I use this side on the copper brass doesn't mean that I can't use the dirtied side on my aluminum. I definitely can. And you will see the difference and how beautiful it comes out. So look how shiny that is compared to the dull before. All right. So I'm going to continue to polish up my bracelets. Yes. So Rosalind said that the polishing, Jen, can you just read the rest of that? Because I only get the first line, that the polish is coming off on my fingers.
Yes, she said, I noticed the polishing is getting on your fingers. Do you just use soap and water to remove it or something special?
I use soap and water to remove it. The thing with working with metals is you're going to get some metal dust on your hands. You know, that's why it's really important that when you are buying your metals, you want to make sure, and I can only speak for the company, you know, I can only speak on behalf of ImpressArt. You want to make sure that your metals, you know what your metals are, guys. Okay. You don't want to go and just grab a bag of blanks that you don't know what's underneath that plating. So as long as you see the ImpressArt on there, I could guarantee you that you are safe. Okay. Like I said, this is safe. This is food grade aluminum. Doesn't contain any lead, doesn't contain any nickel. It's not plated. It's aluminum throughout. Same thing with your brass and your copper. Know what you're stamping. These are raw copper, raw brass. All right.
And then Melody, I'm going to answer this question. How do you keep the shine? Just remember, like we said earlier, brass and copper are raw, so they will have a tendency to tarnish, and that really depends on the person. I tend to tarnish jewelry faster because I guess I have a higher pH on my skin, or my body just runs hotter and it turns the metal. Also, you want to make sure that you're not getting your jewelry wet with soap, water, perfume, lotion, hairspray, makeup, and
Right.
other chemicals. I always say jewelry is the last thing you put on, but the first thing you take off.
So going to what Jen's saying, I'll just share with you something really quick. So my engagement ring and my wedding band is 24 karat gold, right? So we think that, oh, because it's gold, because it's silver, we shouldn't turn a different color. I get a black ring around my finger from it. So it really depends on what you're wearing. Now my brass and my copper, where it might turn other people a color, brass and copper does nothing for me. We have our creative director who wears her wedding band, and her wedding band doesn't do anything. It's 24 karat gold. It doesn't do anything to her finger. Her oils in her body does something to the metal. It turns her gold a rose gold color. So you never really, yes, it's very Sherry. It's unreal. It's the most beautiful rose gold I've ever seen, right, Jen? Allison's ring.
Yeah, totally.
Like, so you have to remember that your body reacts to metals in different ways. What we can assure you is that these are all safe. They don't contain nickel. They don't contain lead. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you to put these in. These make amazing hot cocoa stirs at Christmas time or, during the winter. It's just, great. I wouldn't put the copper and the brass in my drinks, although it would probably look really pretty, but definitely, you know, definitely the aluminum. So I think we do have a little bit of time. So for my beady friends, okay, who I know my next question is, if I want to hang a bead or hang another charm from the edge, how would I do that? So at Michael's, they carry our screw hole punch. Now remember, there is a screw hole punch and there is also a handheld hole punch. You have to be careful when you're buying tools that you buy your tools with the appropriate gauges. Okay, so I have my brass jump ring here. I'm just going to polish that up a little bit because it's a little tarnished for my liking. All right. So with that being said, you want to make sure that when you're buying your ImpressArt bracelet blanks, you buy the ImpressArt screw down hole punch and check the gauges of the hole punch. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to use my 1/16. I'm going to mark my bracelet first, and I'm going to do my brass. Okay. I'm going to put a little hole right at the end in the center. Okay. And I'm going to mark that with a Sharpie marker. I'm going to come in with my screw down hole punch. I'm going to unscrew my punch. Okay. Then I'm going to place it right inside of the hole punch. And I'm going to make sure that my center punch is lined up to that hole that I made, the mark that I made with my Sharpie marker. Okay. Once I feel that it's on there, I'm going to continue to twist until it pierces through the metal. Okay. And then unscrew. What's nice about the ImpressArt hole punch is that it doesn't leave any puckering on the other side. And what I mean about puckering, sometimes hole punches leave a very large amount of metal when it's pushed out the back. And our hole punch does not do that. And it's good for thicker gauges. All right. So after that's done, I'm going to come in and I'm going to bend my bracelets. So let's pull, you want to make sure that you have your bracelet bending plier. And you want to make sure that you have your bracelet bending bar. Let me pull that out. All right, I'm going to pull you guys up just a little bit. All right, so I'm not going to hang anything off my bracelet until I finish with the bending process. Okay, so I'm going to start with my brass first. I'm always going to make sure that my bracelet bar is in my hand. It's not on the table. I'm holding it in air. Okay, now I want my texture on the outside of my bracelet. So I always want to make sure that it's facing towards the ceiling. I'm going to place my bracelet blank right in that channel. Does everybody see that? Okay. Then I'm going to firmly place my thumb right up against it and really put pressure on it. I'm going to take the palm of my hand and bring that right over. And you're going to see it creates more of a 90-degree angle. Okay. Just like that. Then I'm going to come around, do the same thing to the other side. Place it in the channel with my thumb firmly against it. Take the palm of my hand and bring that right over. Okay. So this is going to create more of a flat top cuff. I like more of a rounded cuff. I got somewhat chunky hands. So I'm going to come in with my bracelet bending plier from the center. Okay. And I'm going to squeeze. And do you see how that brings your bracelet all the way in? It's forming your bracelet. Then I'm going to continue all around. And my ends, I'm going to knock in. Okay. Same thing, come in from the center and work around. Now remember, as you work your bracelets, you are work hardening them. Okay. So feel free to use your hands, because the heat in your hands is what's going to help form your bracelet as well. All right. So here is your brass. And the proper way to put this bracelet on is you're going to turn your wrist sideways and then place it on and then just turn it right into position. Okay. With that being said, we do have 7-inch bracelets available. If you'd like more of a larger cuff, then I'm going to take my jump ring and I'm going to take 2 chain nose pliers. And I'm going to show you the proper way to open a jump ring. So guys, you never want to pull apart your jump rings. You always want to laterally twist them open like that. Okay. Does everybody see that? How I laterally twisted? When you pull apart, you compromise the metal in the center of your jump ring and it gets all deformed. Okay. So you definitely want to twist it apart. You're going to put it through. Okay. And let's see if I have, Jen, I didn't even get a blank. Let's see. And if you, let's say, wanted to put an initial on a blank, you can. You're going to then put your blank on, or even if it's a little bead that you want to put on, and then you're going to take it and you're just going to laterally twist it right back into place. Now, my pet peeve is seeing uneven jump rings. So if you ever take a live class with me and Jen, make sure that your jump rings are always perfect. All right. Always make sure, especially if you're going to sell, make to sell, you want to make sure that your jump rings are firmly closed together, nice and synchronous. All right. And how cute is that, guys? I mean, you could do Mother's Day's coming up, Easter's coming up. These are great gifts to just texture and use just one initial if you're really unsure about diving in and going for the entire name. You know, Michael's has a phenomenal font that I created just for them, and it's called Austin. Austin is a beautiful handwritten font. It's fun. It's creative. It could also be sophisticated if you're using just one initial, one uppercase. So definitely take a look into Austin. All right. And they have other fonts from ImpressArt as well, but Austin, I just love it. It's one of my favorites. So, all right. So that's a little way that you could do that a little bit. So the next bracelet, I'm really going to make a mess out of. I'm going to overbend it. I'm going to twist it. I am going to troubleshoot your worst bracelet nightmare for you guys. So when you go to bend the rest of them or continue with your craft tonight and you feel like, oh my God, I overbent this. It looks terrible. Now you know how you could fix it. So let's go with the aluminum cuff. All right. So I bend so many of these, and Jen and I do so many trade shows where we make how many, Jen, a day?
Oh,
would you say on average? A lot.
We can go a lot, like 300 just in like a make it take night.
And sometimes it's, you know, it's overseas where they're not really understanding what we're saying and we're not understanding what there's a huge language barrier. So if that's the case, it's like I'm not really giving instructions. I'm holding the stamp. I'm getting hit with the hammer. So it's very easy for us to overbend. It's going to be very easy for you to overbend. You know, we get complacent. We just want to get it done. So I'm going to just really go crazy and really overbend this because I'm not looking, and I'm going to get something that looks like this. All right. How many of us tried this before the class and got something that looked, I got the yes from Sherry. Okay, Sherry. So I want you to meet my little friend. This is my little friend. Guys, this is your magic eraser. Okay. So let's say you're completely twisted like that. You're a mess. It's a hot mess right here. All right. Fear not. You're just going to bend it right back in place. You're going to go right next to the area where you have that huge kink. Okay. And all I want you to do is pull that out. Once you've pulled that out, you're now going to go back in and form your metal again. And look at that, guys. Your kink is no longer there. You've got a perfect bracelet. So this tool not only helps to round your bracelets, but it gets you out of that really bad, you know, kink that you could get in them. It also works a different way. Now, this is more of an advanced way to do it, but let's say that you want more of a wider gap at the back of it. So now remember I told you that when you start to go around and form your bracelet, you're going to make sure that your curvature matches the curvature of your bracelet. You're going to do the opposite, but you're only going to do it in the center. So you're going to come around. Okay. Does everybody see that? You want to make sure that you're in the center, in between that hole. You're going to lightly, very lightly squeeze. Do we see that moving apart? Okay. That's going to create more of your oval bracelet. Okay. And your flat top. You know, and that's really lately when you go out and you're going to the stores and you're buying the whatever said bracelet that you're purchasing for a ginormous amount of money that now you can make on your own. You know, that's the shape that you're buying it in. You're buying it in that oval shape. So like I said, personal preference, take it, side of the wrist, right on, and then turn your wrist and there is your bracelet. All right. I'll go over the bending process with you one more time with your copper. And this is my favorite. And I always save the copper for the ball peen because I just think it looks so beautiful. We're going to hold our bracelet bar in the air. We're going to put that side right in that channel. Place our thumb firmly against it. Take the palm of our hand. Bring that right over. Okay. I'm working with it. Ashley, I'm working with a 6-inch now. We do have 7 inches available. Okay. And a smaller size. Now I'm going to come around. Same thing. Thumb firmly against it. Palm of your hand. Bring that way over. Okay. And there you go. You're going to come in your center. Follow the curvature of your bracelet and squeeze. It's going to bring it in. And it's going to form it. You're going to work all the way around. Make sure to kick in your ends because that's how your bracelets fall off if you don't have kicked in ends. Okay. Come all around. All right. So again, if you want that hole a little bit bigger, you're going to reverse your curvature, making sure that you're in the center of your bracelet. And lightly, you're not going to squeeze all the way down. You're going to just lightly put some pressure on it. Mm-hmm. And you'll see how it turns it into an oval. And that's it. Just keep on looking at it, you know, keeping an eye on the shape that it's at. And there you go, guys. You are all metal stamping geniuses now. Okay, we're all well-versed in texture. Michaels has texture packs available, which are my favorite. One of my favorites is the pack that they have with the dot texture. There's one with a crosshatch. There's one with flowers. So definitely take a look at Michaels online and also go into your local store. You never know who you might bump into in your aisles, depending on where you live. You might find a stamping friend. Right, Jen?
Or Rita, no.
Or you might find me. If you live on Long Island, I might be the one hunched over fixing the shelves over there. Because, you know, I can't walk past an ImpressArt display and not play and put blanks where they should go and the stamps where they should go. So you might see me in your Michael's aisle. But other than that, thank you guys. And this is me and Jen's favorite time because we get to turn the camera around and we get to see what you guys made. And I'm going to flip this over. Let's see. So hold it up so we could see. Let me see, Lisa. Nice job. Nice job. Let's see. Oh God, that's my face. I don't want to see that. Let's keep on moving. Hi, Carolyn. There you go, Brenda. I knew you would be wearing something. Hi, how are you? Let's see.
Oh, Bridget jumped to the top. There you go, Bridget.
Oh, Bridget. I see Bridget. You do, Bridget. Beautiful. Very nice.
I think she's standing in her garage. Is that your car behind you?
Yeah. Is that a car behind you? I love looking at everybody's. Like, I love Sherry's. Is that a clock, Sherry, that you have? That's a pocketbook. 2 pocketbooks, right? I'm just totally a super stalker looking at your pocketbooks before. So we have Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. Brenda's at work. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. And I hope you learned something new. And I know a lot of you already taken the class before, but you know, I figured I'd try to keep it a little new by adding that element of using the screw hold down punch in it. But we're excited for our next class, right, Jen? That's not next week, the week after.
It's March 25th, and we're doing a family jumble necklace. So it has like a circle blank, a rectangle blank, and a tag blank. And that class, we will be stamping letters.
Yeah, so we'll be doing letters. And remember, guys, now that you know texturing, you could add texturing around your blanks. So if I have enough time, I will get to that and enameling in the next class. So definitely sign on. Join Jen and I. We love, 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 love to see you guys. So have a magnificent weekend wherever you are. I hope the weather is getting much nicer in Texas. I know some of us are in Pennsylvania. I saw Bucks County. Your snow's melting. Our snow on Long Island melted. I actually poured a pot of water on the snow that I had left on the driveway because I'm over it. So thank you very much. Thank you, Samantha, for joining. And we will see you guys. If not on Facebook Live, we will see you for our next Michael's class. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.